Hey guys, I hope that I'm live right now. If you guys are able to listen to me properly as well as there's no issues with the audio or the video, please let me know. Hello everyone, I hope that I'm live right now, guys. If you guys are able to listen to me properly as well as there's no issues with the audio or the video, please let me know. No issues there, everything is clear, right? Great, guys. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So, how was your day, guys? How was your day? Was your day productive? Good evening, everyone. Good evening. How was your day, guys? Do let me know. Was your day a bit productive today, guys? Yes? See, my point of view is that if you want to make your day productive, you want to focus upon your studies, learn new concepts, and everything, try to create a timetable, okay? And work according to that timetable itself. Be very easy for you guys to make sure that you are able to code on a daily basis, learn something new on a daily basis. You will be able to give time to not just your college but also your career as well. So all these different things, it is you who has to look into it. Okay, but yes, I will definitely suggest on a daily basis, please start coding, because if you want to become a programmer, if you want to get a job, then programming on a daily basis is a very important thing. Okay. Okay, good. So let's start with our today's class, guys. Before starting, can you guys let me know what have we studied in our yesterday's class? Can you guys let me know what have we studied in our yesterday's class, guys? We studied about HTML, right? We studied about HTML tag, image tag. We studied about HTML basic intro to HTML div tag. We studied about head tag. We studied about body tag. We studied about the paragraph tag. We studied about the heading tag, that is the H1 to H6 tag. We studied about the doc type HTML code itself. We studied about child, parent, and siblings in a tree like structure of the HTML. Okay. Anything else, guys, that we have studied in our yesterday's class? Please let me know. We studied about metadata. We studied about HTML hierarchy. Good, guys. Okay. So, in today's class, our aim is to start off with understanding about CSS. Okay, because CSS is a very important skill set, right? And in our project as well, we will be requiring a bit of CSS to be used, right? Now, CSS will be a little bit vast than HTML. So, it will take us 2 days to complete CSS. So, today and tomorrow. So, 2 days we'll be completing our CSS itself, the basics of CSS, and then we'll start off with our project so that we are able to do both. Like in the project, we'll be learning the advanced concepts. That will be my aim, guys. Okay, so let us start with our class, guys. Right? Okay, great. So again, guys, with CSS, we are going to use code sandbox only. Okay, so yesterday we used Repellent, so we'll use Repellent. We'll use Repellent itself just like yesterday. Okay, we are not changing that so that the consistency in the programming is there with you guys. Okay, let me open up the chat right over here, and let me open the website right over here as well. So why we write metadata about our website into our website? Because that is like a documentation process. You want to have some information about your website or not. When you're buying your iPhone, if I am giving you the iPhone without any information that okay, where it was made, which company this phone is of, what is the price, then I can like I can sell you a fake iPhone to you and you would not even know it. I can charge you, like instead of charging you 1 lakh rupees, I will charge you 1,50,000 rupees. You will not know it, and you will still buy the iPhone. Okay, due to that particular reason, you have to like make, like, you have to put up the information about the product right over there. Okay, secondly guys, yes, up till now we have studied the basics of HTML. Like I've already said, we have only 7 days, we don't have a lot of time. Okay, we have to cover up HTML, CSS, as well as the project. That is the reason why the plan that we are going to use is that we are going to start off with the basic of HTML that we have learned, and the basics of CSS that we are going to learn right now. Then we'll immediately start with the project. In the project, whatever new topics that come up, whatever advanced topics come up, I will be teaching you guys that right over there itself. Are you guys able to understand it? Please let me know. Are you guys able to understand it, guys? Please let me know. Great. So I'm going to use this particular page right over here. Let me open up the website in a new page so that we can just close it. We don't require this as well for right now, so closing this as well. Let me just make it a little bigger. Let me create the HTML code itself right over here. HTML ahead, just basic things. Right. Till site, body tag, and let me have an h1 tag right over here saying this is. Okay, so now there are three ways. So CSS or cascading style sheets is basically used to adding styling to your current website. Okay, as simple as that, nothing too complicated about it. So to use CSS, guys, we have to, there are three different ways to use CSS: inline, internal, and external CSS. Okay, we are going to learn about all these three types of using CSS right now. First is the inline CSS. Okay, so in the inline CSS, you write the CSS code directly inside. Okay, directly inside of this h1 tag itself. Are you guys able to understand it? Please let me know. You write the CSS code directly inside the h1 tag itself. So for example, style, I want to convert the style of this particular h1 tag from black to red. Currently, as you're able to see, we are having a black colored h1 tag, guys. I want to convert it into red color. Okay, so I'll add the styling right over here. That color should be red, and then semicolon at the end. Okay, so this is how I will be running it. So if I go back to my website, okay, if I go back to my website and reload my page, as you are able to see that we are getting the red color h1 tag. Are you guys able to understand it? Please let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. Good. So right over here, as you're able to see, what we have done is that inside of the h1 tag itself, inside of the h1 tag itself, I've written the CSS code as an attribute. I took up an attribute called as the style, and I wrote my CSS code that, okay, for this h1 tag, I want the color to be red in color. And the way that I've written color, colon, red, semicolon, this is called as the syntax of CSS code. By syntax, I mean the grammatical, the correct grammar to write CSS code is this, guys. If you don't write it according to this particular grammar, your CSS won't get recognized itself. It won't work properly. So you have to write the correct grammatically. It should be correct, guys. That is the reason why this is called a syntax. Okay. So this color is red is applied to the current h1 tag, guys. The current h1 tag, the color will change to red right over here, and that is what is happening right over here as well. This is called as inline CSS, guys. Okay, this is called as inline CSS. That means the CSS is in the same line. Okay, the CSS is in the same line as our h1 tag itself. So whatever tag we wanted to make the changes to, inside of the same line we are having our CSS code. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know, guys. Nishant Wale, sir, I have not received Amazon certificates, previous backend web development using Node.js Express. I have only received Microsoft and Google but didn't receive my Amazon certificate. Nishant Wale, if the Amazon certificate was meant for that particular bootcamp, you will be receiving that certificate. If that bootcamp was not meant for Amazon certificates, you will not be receiving the Amazon certificate. Okay, because recently we have got the Amazon certificates. Even I don't know from which bootcamp you are going to get it. But for this bootcamp, you are going to get the Amazon certificate. And of course, this is not the right place to talk about the certificates. If you're not interested in study, you can just leave the class. Okay. If you want to ask about certificates, we are having an email ID certificate@devtown.in. You can email us right over there. Please do not disturb the class like this right over here. Under the message like this, I will be removing you from the class directly. Okay. Other students are getting disconnected from right over here. Okay, so this is called as your inline CSS, where the CSS code is present in the exact same line as our h1 tag itself. I want to change the color. I want to change the styling of the h1 tag. So I'm writing my CSS. CSS code basically changes the color, guys. So I'm writing the CSS code inside of the same particular line as the h1 code itself. And that is the reason why it is called as inline, because it is in the same line as your CSS code. It is as simple as that, guys. Let us look at another styling. Okay, let us remove this inline CSS for right now, guys. Again, we'll go back just to the previous version, that is the h1 tag. Let us save this right over here, guys. And let us go back to our website, reload our page. As you are able to see right over here, guys, it is again black in color, right? The h1 tag is again black in color, guys. Right? The h1 tag is again black in color right over here. So what we are going to do right now is that we are going to use internal CSS, not inline CSS. We are going to use internal CSS. For internal CSS, we are going to make a... So please try to understand it. Styling is also something that the code that you write, the CSS code that you write to apply styling to a particular element, that's code you don't want to appear on the website, right? You don't want that code to appear on the website. Only that, okay, this h1 tag is red in color, this particular button is blue in color. Okay, so that is also a type of information about the button itself, information, some extra information about the h1 tag itself. So it is also a kind of a metadata. Okay, it is also a kind of a metadata itself, guys. So this CSS, internal CSS code, is going to go inside of the head tag. It is going to go inside of the head tag itself. We're going to create another tag called as style style tag, guys. Okay, we are going to create another tag called as style style tag. And inside of this style tag, we are going to write our CSS code. First, which particular tag do we want to select? Okay, which particular tag do we want to select to apply my CSS to? I want to select the h1 tag, right, guys? I want to select my h1 tag. Please let me know. That is the tag that I want to select to apply my styling to. Am I right or wrong, guys? Please let me know. So first, I will be writing h1 tag. I want to select this h1 tag itself. This is called as the selector. Okay. Then the next particular, I am having the parenthesis. And inside of this parenthesis, I am going to write color is red. Okay. I'm selecting the color as red in color. So if I go back to my website once again and reload my page itself, as you are able to see, my h1 tag is again red in color itself, guys. Okay. As you're able to see, it is the h1 tag. I'm selecting the h1 tag and then I'm applying these changes, and in these changes, color should be red in color. It is as simple as that, guys. As simple as that. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. Are you guys able to understand this, guys? Please let me know. So let us try to understand some terminologies in a CSS code as well. Okay. some technical terminologies is very important to understand right over here. So let me just open up the terminal, like the terms itself, so that I'm able to explain it to you guys right over here. Okay, so guys, the current thing that you saw, the current styling of code where we selected the h1 tag, we applied the property color should be red in color to it. Okay, so that entire block of code is usually referred to as a rule set. Okay, the entire, so these are technical terms, guys, you have to remember it. This is something that you have to memorize. Okay, there is no explanation behind it. Okay, why is my name Shaurya? I don't know, somebody gave this name to me, you have to remember it, you don't have any other option. Okay, in a similar way, these are some technical terms that are there. You have to remember these technical terms. You cannot say a block of code, you have to say rule set. You cannot say I've selected the h1 element, you have to say the selector is h1. Okay, you cannot say that I've applied 4 different lines of code, you have to say that I've written a declaration block right over here. Okay, so the entire block of code, that is the selector as well as the changes that are applied to it, is called as a rule set. Okay, a set of rules. Okay, the tag that you want to select to apply the changes to is called as selector. Again, if you are not able to understand it, there is nothing to understand about it. You have to memorize it. There is nothing to understand right over here. You have to memorize it, you have to keep it in your brain itself. Okay, and the styling changes that you're applying, that is everything within the curly brackets, everything within the curly brackets, that is the styling that you're trying to change about that selector, is called as the declaration block, guys. It's called as the declaration block. Are you guys able to memorize it? Please let me know. Are you guys able to memorize it, guys? Please let me know. Good. So next thing that we have to do is that, so this is called as internal CSS. Why internal? Because it is in the same file as our CSS, as our HTML code. Your HTML code as well as your CSS code are present in the same file. They are not present in the same line. Your HTML code for h1 element is right over here. Your CSS code for h1 element is right over here. They're not present in the same line, but they're still present in the same file itself. That is the reason why these are called as internal CSS. The last type of CSS is called as your external CSS, guys. As the name basically suggests, your CSS code lives in another file. It is your HTML code and your CSS code are not present in the same file, guys. So what we're going to do right over here is that we are going to take up our CSS file itself. So right over here, guys, as you're able to see, this is my CSS file. I will open up the CSS file. I will change my code. I will select the h1 tag, guys, right over here, and I will apply my changes color. All right, color should be red in color. We'll save it right over here. Okay, we'll go back to our, so I've written this particular line of code right over here, guys. Okay, the h1 time I am selecting that, and I'm changing the color to red. Okay, I'm changing the color to red right over here, guys. Are you guys able to see this? Please let me know. Are you guys able to see this? Please let me know, guys. Good. So we are going to go back to our HTML code, guys. We are going to remove our internal CSS. Okay, we are going to remove our internal CSS from right over here, guys. We're going to save it. As you're able to see, although we have written the exact correct code for our CSS. Okay, for our CSS we have written the exact correct code, guys. There's no issues with our CSS file at any particular point of time. But if you go to your website and reload your page, as you're able to see, the CSS code is still black in color. Like, it has not changed into red. What is the problem that we are facing right over here? The CSS code that we had written right over there was absolute correct. We had no issues with the CSS code. Now please try to understand it. Here a very important concept comes into picture, that actually your web browsers only read your HTML file. They don't read any other file. Like many of you guys are saying, we are not calling it, we are not linking it. But why is that the case? The CSS file was also present right over there. Why do we need to link it? Actually, the reason behind it is that this is a very important interview question, guys. This is being asked in interviews a lot. Okay, that why do you need to link it? The reason is that the web browsers only read your HTML code. They don't read anything else. They don't read JavaScript. They don't read CSS. So if you have mentioned inside of the HTML code that there is another file that is of importance to me and you should read it, that is the CSS file itself, then your web browser will start reading your CSS file. Otherwise, not, guys. Otherwise, not. Okay. So that is the reason why we have to link our current HTML file with the CSS file, guys. So let us go back. Let us start linking it up. What happened, guys? So can you please explain why we make CSS file? Okay. So why do we require external file, guys? Okay. Because if you are writing inline CSS, you will be writing 20,000 lines of code inside of the HTML. Just HTML code, you will be writing 20,000 lines of code. For every single HTML tag, you will have to put in their CSS as well. So you will, for every single 20,000 lines of code, you will be adding CSS to those 20,000 lines of code as well. That will just make the entire code very, very, very big, as well as very complicated as well. It won't be well organized. For every tag, the code is somewhere else. The relationship between all these tags, all that HTML will go into waste itself. It will be a very complex code that you have written right over there. It is not simple at all. So the second particular thing is that you can create a internal CSS. Again, the same problem that in the same file you are writing 20,000 lines of code in HTML and 20,000 lines of code in CSS. Again, it has become so huge. The file has become so huge. It is not well organized as well. Hence, we use two separate files, that is an HTML file and a CSS file, to make sure that everything is well organized right over here. Are you guys able to understand it? Please let me know, guys. Okay, so to link two files together, we use the link property right over here, guys. Okay, the link property has two attributes to it. The REL, that is relationship. Okay, REL, that is a relationship, guys. What is the relationship between the two files? Okay, so your style.css file is the style sheet of your index.html file. That is the relationship between them. The style.css file is the style sheet of your index.html file. So you will be writing right over here stylesheet style sheet. Okay, and href, where is this particular, what is the path to this particular file, guys? Where is this style.css file present? Okay, so dot slash, and then you will be writing your style.css. Where is this particular file present, guys? That is the major question right over there. Okay, where is this style.css file present? We already know what is the meaning of dot slash. We have already studied it yesterday, so I'm not going to explain it once again. Okay, we are going to go back to our website, reload our page. As you are able to see, our CSS is getting applied right over here. Now that there are three different ways of CSS, guys, that is external CSS, internal CSS, and inline CSS. There are two things that you need to learn. Okay, there are two extra things that you need to learn, guys. Let me just open up Paint. So if one tag, one HTML tag has its CSS properties mentioned in an external file, in an internal file, as well as an inline is as well. Okay. For example, there is an h1 tag right over here. In the internal, okay, in the internal CSS, again, the internal CSS, it has been mentioned color is red. Okay, in the inline CSS. Okay, this is inline. Okay, in inline it has been said that the color is red. In the internal CSS, it has been mentioned that the color is blue. Okay, in the internal CSS the color is blue, guys. Okay, and then in the external CSS it has been mentioned that the color of the same h1 tag is green. So what will be the color of the h1 tag itself? Okay, because according to the inline CSS, it has been mentioned that the color is red. According to the internal CSS, the color has been mentioned as blue. According to the external CSS, the color has been mentioned as green. So which one will be used right over here? The answer is inline CSS. Inline CSS, if all these CSS have some values associating with each other, then inline CSS will be given the most priority. Then internal CSS, and at the end the least priority is given to your external CSS, guys. The least priority is given to the external CSS itself. Are you guys able to understand it? Please let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. If internal CSS, inline CSS, and external CSS, all of them are mentioned right over there. Okay, if all of them are mentioned right over there, then in that particular case, only your inline CSS will be given more preference than internal CSS, and internal CSS will be given more preference than your external CSS. Now, one more thing, guys. Although I have taught you guys inline, internal, and external CSS, in practice we only use external CSS. We avoid using inline and internal CSS at all times. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. We avoid using inline or internal CSS at all times. We only use external CSS. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know, guys. The reason for that is very simple. It is just that your code needs to be organized. Your code needs to be organized, guys. Okay, I've been giving you guys your first attendance right now. You have 5 minutes to fill up your attendance. There'll be 2 attendances in today's class. Okay, the attendance link will be closed exactly at 8:03. The attendance link will be closed exactly at 8:03. You have 5 minutes to fill out your attendance, guys. The attendance link will be closed exactly at 8:03. This is the first attendance for today's class. Okay, the attendance will be closed exactly at 8:03, guys. I have provided you guys with the attendance. I'll provide it for 1 more minute. After that, I will stop providing the attendance link as well. Okay, you have 5 minutes to fill out your attendance link. Not a second more. So you have time up till 8:03 to fill up the attendance link, guys. Please start filling up the attendance link right now. Okay, I'll be providing the attendance link for 1 more minute. That's it. Be providing the attendance link for just 1 more minute, guys. Hey, you have up till 8:03 to fill out your attendance. You have up till 8:03 to fill out your attendance, guys. And now I will not be providing you guys with the attendance. I have provided you guys attendance for a very long period of time. I will not be providing the attendance anymore. At 8:03, your attendance will be closed, guys. At 8:03, your attendance will be closed, guys. Okay, guys. So please start filling up your attendance link right now. There'll be 2 attendance link today. If you miss out any one of these attendance, you will not be able to get the certificates. Wee. Okay, so we'll continue from. So, do you teach in web development in internship as well? Yes, of course. So, will you teach iframes, forms, tables, how to add audio, video, how to play a YouTube video in my website? Venu Gopal, in this particular bootcamp, we are just going to treat with the HTML basics. If these topics are there inside of our project, then I will teach them, otherwise, not. If you want to learn all these into a lot of depth, you can join the industrial training program that we are having. In that, we teach all these things. It is very, very easy things actually. Okay. So why we are not learning JS also, because that is not required for the project. Okay. So in every bootcamp, I teach that much that is required for the project itself. Nothing less, nothing more than that. So if you want to learn JavaScript, we are having the next bootcamp as JavaScript and backend web development bootcamp. You can join right over there and learn it. Okay. Difference between inline and internal CSS, Verticata, it is very simple. Inline is in the same line as your HTML code. Internal is in the same page as your HTML code, not in the same line. That's the difference. It's very simple. Just look at some examples, you will be able to understand it. What is metadata? Piyush, I'm not going to answer that. Uh, okay. No, there's no issues in that. Piyush, I'm not going to answer what is metadata. If somebody wants to help Piyush out, please do help him out, guys. I think so. He was not present in the first day of class. Sir, I've not registered for this program, so will be no problem. No, sir. See, if you have not registered for this program, it's fine. Just fill out your attendance and get your certificates. But in any future boot camp, if you're not registering for the boot camp, and you will not be able to get the certificates as well. It's as simple as that. Okay. The attendance link will be closed in 1 minute, guys. The attendance link will be closed in 1 minute, guys. There were 2,400 people live with us when I was sharing the attendance link. 2,400 people have filled up the attendance. The other people who are late in the class, people are asking where is attendance link? Send the attendance link again. That definitely means they are not even present in the class live. I'm not even going to entertain these kind of kids anymore. And like that, people have missed their today's attendance. Okay, people have missed their today's attendance itself. As simple as that, guys. As you are able to see, only that many number of people were able to fill the attendance that were actually attending the session live from the start of the class. 2,425 people were present in the class while I was teaching. 2,486 people have filled up the attendance. That means only those people who are present in the class were able to fill the attendance. Now, please do not create hustles that I was not able to get the attendance, I was not able to see the attendance link was not working. Dude, it has been 2 days. In 2 days, if you're not able to figure out how to make the attendance link work, after shouting how the attendance works itself, even God can't help you, I guess. Okay? So if you want to learn right over here, be present from the start of the class itself. Otherwise, you are not going to get the link. You're not going to get the attendance as well. I've already said missing out one attendance, 1 days of attendance throughout the entire boot camp is fine. Okay? It is fine. There's no issues in that. Okay? But if you want to get the certificates, come to the class from tomorrow live and attend the class properly as well. Okay. Now that we have taken up the attendance for today, let us continue with our class from right over there, guys. Okay, so let's get started right over here. We have already linked. So, like I said, guys, the first thing that I've told you guys is that your inline CSS has more power than internal CSS. Your internal CSS has more power than external CSS. But when we are using CSS, we have to make sure that we are actually using just external CSS. We should not be using, okay, we should not be using your inline CSS or internal CSS at any particular point of time. Are you guys able to understand it? Please let me know, guys. We should not be using inline CSS or internal CSS at any particular point of time, guys. We should only be using external CSS. Okay. What do we mean by that, guys? See, your inline CSS and your internal CSS makes your code haphazard. It does not make your code organized. It makes your code big, and you don't want that. That is the reason why, to make sure that everybody has a well organized code. Okay, your HTML and your CSS are separately created, because maybe some developer will be working just on the CSS portion, some developer will be working just on the HTML portion. It is better to create them separately itself. That is the reason why we are using your external CSS, guys, at all times. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know, guys. Good, guys. Amazing. So let us start with our class. Let us continue with our class, guys. The next thing that we need to learn about is classes and IDs, guys. A very, very, very important topic, guys. Classes and IDs. So let us create your h1 tags right over here, guys. Okay. Let me create a lot of h1 tags right over here. So h1, this is this attend the class live from start to get it. We'll copy this up and paste it up a lot of times. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times should be more than sufficient. Just go back to our website and just reload our page itself. Let me make it a bit smaller. This is CSS. Let us remove that shit. X. Is the link tag itself. Give me a second, guys. So link relationship alias quality style sheet and href. Let us put it up as your dot slash style style dot css s. Okay, so right over here, guys, as you are able to see, we have put in our link tag, and we have put in 9 h1 tags right over here, guys. 9 h1 tags. And then I'm going back to my website. As you're able to see, there are 9 h1 tags that are present in our website itself. Are you guys able to see this? Please let me know, guys. So you too understand, there are people who genuinely didn't get the link. It is just impossible for not getting the link. I have been pasting the link for almost more than 2 minutes in the live chat, almost 100 times during that time itself. You're still not able to see the link in the live chat. I think that you're blind. I think so. The method of conducting the bootcamp needs to change for you then. Okay, because even if you were blind, I think so it is impossible for you not to understand that the attendance was made available, because I was shouting on the top of my voice that the attendance has been given. Please start filling up the attendance. It will be closed at 8:03 itself. Even if you were blind as well as deaf, in that case, yes, the bootcamp needs to start changing. Okay, there's nothing else that I can do about it. See, the point is that if you are not present in live in the class, that is, you are there live in the class. I don't like, you will be there. You will open up the YouTube on your phone, and you'll keep it up on your corner of the table itself. That is not that does not mean that you are actually attending the class. You have to listen to me carefully. you have to pay attention to the class itself. You have to be continuously for us itself. Like you should be there in the class. Only then you are going to get the attendance link. Otherwise, it is impossible for you guys to do that. Impossible. And there is nothing else that I can do about it. So today you have understood how to attend the classes. Finally. Okay. If you want to get attendance from tomorrow onwards, pay attention to the class. Otherwise, you are not going to get the certificates as well. It is as simple as that. Good. So right over here, guys, as you're able to see, I have 9 H1 tags present on our screen itself. Okay. I want to change that every even tag, okay, should be blue in color. Every odd tag should be white in color, guys. Are you guys able to see this? Please let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. I want every even tag to be blue in color and every odd tag to be red in color, guys. Okay. But now if I go back to my code and if I'm selecting your CSS code itself, if I'm selecting the CSS file, as you're able to see from right over here, if I'm selecting the CSS file, I am able to select just the H1 tag itself. I'm not able to select like, okay, the odd H1 tags, or I cannot select the even H1 tags. I can only select the H1 tags itself. Due to that, all the H1 tags that are present on my website are getting colored as red. All the H1 tags present on my website are getting colored as red, guys. Let us try to understand this particular question, this particular understanding about classes and IDs, guys. So let us go back to our drawing board. Let's go back to our drawing board. Every one of you guys must have participated at some particular point of time or the other in school annual day functions, right, guys? Please let me know. Can you guys let me know? Have you guys studied about a school annual day function? Like, have you guys participated in school annual day function itself when you were in school? Like, they will make you wear bright color clothes, make you perform some dancing number in front of like 5,000 people, random as people present in the school itself. Okay, so the same thing happens. Let us see that. I have created my own school. Okay, I will call it as DevTown School. Okay, DevTown, SCSOOL school itself. In this particular school, I'm having some students that are there. Not a lot, but there are some students that I'm having inside of the school itself. So let us create that students. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So there are 16 students in this school. Now these students will be divided into classes, right? Not all the students in the exact same school are present in the exact same class as well. They will be divided into multiple classes, right? So let us divide them into multiple classes, guys. This all 4 students are from class 10A. Okay, 10A, guys. Okay, this 4 students are from class 10B, guys. This 4 students are from class 10C, guys. These 4 students are from class 10D. Okay, so I've divided these students into various classes. Okay, along with that, every student in any school will have something called as a roll number, something called as an ID that is going to uniquely identify that student inside of the entire school. No other student is going to have that same ID or that same roll number itself. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. No other student, again, no other student present in the class will have the same ID, or in the school will have the same ID or the same roll number, right? So every student will have its own ID as well. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. So each of these students have a unique ID and a class as well. Okay, for example, the students who have an ID of 1, 2, 3, 4 have a class of 10A, right, guys? Have a class of 10A. Similar to that, the students having the class IDs of 9, 10, 11, 12 have a class of 10C. if I'm saying that, okay, all the students belonging to the class of 10C should be wearing green color clothes. All the students present in the class 10C should be wearing green color clothes itself. So all the students that will be present in the class 10C will start wearing green color clothes, right? Similar to that, if I say that all the students present in the class 10A should be wearing red color clothes, and all the students present in the class 10A would be wearing red color clothes itself. Am I right, guys? So I'm selecting these students on the basis of their class. I'm selecting these students on the basis of their class itself. Now think about it in such a way that this school is nothing else but a website. The school is nothing else but a website itself. The students are nothing else but your tags. Okay, your I see. I love to save times of students. I'm going to save time of student Shubham by just removing him from the website itself. Okay, now his time is saved a lot. So, like I said, guys, let's assume that this school is nothing else but a website. These students are nothing else but a tag itself. Okay, your HTML tags that are there. And each of these HTML tags, for example, the HTML tags having an ID of 1, 2, 3, 4 are having the same class. So multiple HTML tags, okay, multiple HTML tags, multiple students can have the same class itself, guys. Multiple multiple tags can have the same, okay, class itself. And I can select them on the basis of their class and apply a style change to it, guys. Okay, that is the use of class. I can select multiple students having the same class and apply some styling change to it. I can also say this that, okay, the student having the roll number or the ID of 7 should be wearing blue color clothes. The student having the ID of 7 should be wearing blue color clothes. So I'm uniquely identifying one student on the basis of its ID. I can uniquely identify a tag, an HTML tag on the basis of its ID and apply a style change to it. I don't have to select it via its tag. I don't have to select it via this class. I can select it via its ID as well. Okay. Along with that, for example, guys, if one particular student, okay, this particular student having the roll number 3 has a class of 10A, right? The student having roll number 3 has a class of 10A. It has already been told that the students from class 10A will be wearing red color clothes. If I say that, okay, along with that, the student having the roll number 3 should be wearing blue color clothes as well. Okay. Now two attributes are getting applied to this, right? Its ID is saying that, okay, according to the ID 3, it should be wearing blue color clothes. But according to its class, the class of the student, that is 10A, it should be wearing red color clothes. So which clothes should he wear? Should he wear half blue and half red color? Should he wear red color? Should he wear blue color? What should he do right over there, guys? Now, please try to understand it, okay? Please try to understand it, guys, that when I'm saying that all the students of this class are going to wear red color clothes, but you in particular are going to wear blue color clothes itself, then I'm pointing you out separately. I'm pointing you out separately, guys. Due to that particular reason, your ID has much more preference than your class itself. Your ID has much more preference than your class. Hence, the student with an ID 3 will be wearing blue color clothes. The same goes on for a website as well. If a HTML tag has an ID as well as a class, the preference will be given to the ID itself. The preference will be given to the ID. Let us go back to our website and try to do this particular thing in coding itself. You're having 9 h1 tags right over here. Let us try to apply our class right over there, guys. So like I've already said, the odd should be red color. So I'll just create class, okay, and I will put it up as odd, okay, and I will have another class of even, okay. I'll just copy paste it for the rest as well. Control C, Control V, Control V, Control V. So all the h1 tags that are present at odd numbers, for example, the first h1 tag, the third h1 tag, the fifth h1 tag, I've given them a class of odd, guys. I've given them a class of odd, okay. Now I'm going to use it of even, guys. I'm going to use the class of even. So right over here the class is even, right over here the class is even, right over here the class is even, guys, and so on and so forth. Now I'm going to go inside of my CSS code. I'm going to go inside of my CSS code and start changing the tags itself. Now I don't have to select, okay, I don't have to select my h1 tag, right? Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. I don't have to select my h1 tag. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know, guys. I need to select the class, that is your odd class. For selecting an h1 tag, you just had to write the h1 tag right over here. Right now I need to select a class. So I have to write dot and then the class name odd. Okay, dot odd, and then I have to apply color to it. COLOR color should be red in color. And then you are having dot even, that is the another class that we have created. The color should be blue in color, right? BLUE, blue in color. I can save it right over here, guys, and go back to my website, reload my page. As you're able to see, all the odd tags having the class as odd are red in color. All the even tags that are having the class of even are blue in color, guys. Are you guys able to understand it? Please let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand the classes and IDs, how to implement them in code, guys? I think so. Everybody should be able to understand it. It is very easy like that. Nothing too complicated about it as well, right? Good. In the similar way, guys, I can also apply ID as well. Applying IDs are very similar. Let me show it to you guys right over here. You want to apply an ID. For example, let us assume that the fifth h1 tag, we want it to be green in color. The fifth h1 tag, we want it to be green in color, guys. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They'll have an ID. Let us put it up an ID as well. ID of let's say UNIQ unique. Okay, let us save this. So the fifth h1 tag, as we are able to see from right over here, guys, the fifth h1 tag has an ID of unique as well as a class of odd. It has two selectors, guys. It has an ID of unique as well as the class of odd, guys. Okay, so we can go back to our CSS code once again. Let us go back to our CSS code once again, guys. And right over here we are going to add, so to select an id, you have to do your hash. Okay, we have to do hash itself, and then in hash we have to select the ID, that is the UNIQ. Because it is the ID, we have to write hash, and then we have to write its code right over here, guys. So color should be green. Okay, so as you're able to see, the fifth h1 tag has an ID, has a ID of unique and a class of odd. It has both of them right over here. So according to the class, we should be able to have red color. Similar to that, for the ID of unique, we should be having green color. We go back to our website and reload our page itself. As you're able to see, the fifth h1 tag is now green in color, guys. As you're able to see the fifth h1 tag is green in color. We go for IDs itself right over here. Are you guys able to understand it? Please let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand it? Please let me know, guys. Great. So for today's class, guys, I want you guys to have, so yes, ID has much more preference than class. Secondly, inside of practice, while coding itself, programmers prefer not to use IDs. Okay, because ID is unique to that particular website itself, right? No other tags, no other student can have the same roll number. Similar to that, no other tags inside of the entire website can have the same ID itself. Okay, so once you've used an ID, you cannot reuse it at any particular point of time. You cannot reuse it. That is one of the reasons why programmers rarely use IDs, because when you're creating a website, to having seen a case wherein you're going to use a particular CSS just once throughout the entire website is very, very, very rare. Okay, is very rare, guys. So we always try not to use IDs, and always we use classes itself. Are you guys able to understand it? Please let me know, guys. Unique UNIQ, okay, is having a hash in front of it because it is an ID. If you want to select a tag, it is directly h1. If you want to select a class, it is dot. If you want to select an ID, it is hash. Okay. Okay, great, guys. So today I want you guys to revise everything that has been taught in today's class. This concept of IDs, this concept of classes and everything. Okay, because it is a very important topic, guys. If you have not understood it, inside of project you are going to face a lot of challenges. You will not be able to do the project properly, guys. So I want everybody present in the class to pay attention to learn or revise everything that has been taught in today's class and come to tomorrow's class on time, guys. Okay, one more thing, guys. The attendance link has already been given. It has already been taken as well. Many of you guys, only 2400 of you guys were live in the class. 2400 people have already filled up the attendance as well. So please do not tell to me something else that we were present in the class, we're not seeing the class, we're not able to get the attendance link. It is your lookout. Why did you not get the attendance link? Not mine. I'd already provided you guys the attendance link almost 100 times. This is your lookout. Why did you not get the attendance? What happened right over there? Figure it out. One day of attendance, if you're missing, it's fine. There's no issues in that. We will help you guys out with that. From tomorrow's class, come to the class at 7:30 live. Pay attention to the class. Learn in the class itself. Only then you're going to get your attendance. Otherwise, not. Otherwise, not. As simple as that, right? Okay. So what is today's assignment, guys? Please let me know. What is today's assignment, guys? Please let me know. What is today's assignment, guys? Please let me know, guys. To revise today's classes and IDs, to revise it. Okay, please come to tomorrow's class after doing today's revision, guys. That is the reason why I'm closing the class a little bit early. You have 30 more minutes of the class. Revise everything that has been taught in today's class and then go. Okay, that will be my suggestion. Complete your revision right now itself, guys. So thank you so much, guys. We'll meet in tomorrow's class at 7:30 and we'll continue from right over there. Please be in the class live and make sure that you guys are learning. Okay, thank you so much, guys. Thank you, guys. Bye, guys. Bye. Bye.